Well, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my son. And, of course, we're doing what we do. We're working in the workshop here. I'm so happy that I got some orders from some of you guys. But let me take care of some business. I think it's Sal. Sal, I think you had one of the cherry ones, the maple. And I need your address again because I know that you had one that the lace was a little off. So I want to make sure I get that to you. And there's a guy out in Cali who ordered the Texans one. He ordered, I think, a Browns one, a Lions one, the first Lions one. And when we changed over systems, I can't find your stuff. I got that other rack; it's boxed up, ready to go, but I can't find your address and stuff. We talked about a week ago, and I said it was done, but I can't remember if it was. I looked at my emails, couldn't find emails, or if it was like Facebook. And if it's Facebook, it could have been Jobu Sports Report, Cowboy Jobu, and I can't find it. So get back in touch with me so I can get that out to you. So we got all kinds of stuff going on. We know we got Gerald McCoy now in with the Dallas Cowboys, a major move. In fact, you know, if you've been watching the Jobu Sports Report, when people were saying, we should go get Clowney, let's go get Clowney, I said, man, leave the clown man alone. We got enough clowns in Dallas, okay? I said, go get Gerald McCoy. Jerry, were you listening to me? Is that what were you listening to me? But anyway, we got him. And it's time for the haters ball, of course. It's the haters ball. We've got, of course, Undisputed. And it's undisputed that they talk about the Dallas Cowboys. It's amazing because we're only an hour into the show and we've already talked about Jerry Jones. Now, of course, they're talking about Dak Prescott, and I'm sure later on they'll be talking about Gerald McCoy. It's amazing that there's only one team in the NFL to talk about. Isn't that Mike? Oh, he's busy with his phone. So, we're going to go ahead and go to, of course, Dak to the Future, which, of course, is their segment. You know, I love how they literally have names for Dak Prescott's segments, okay? You know, on Colin Cowherd, it's Dis or Dak. And now we got Dak to the Future. So let's listen to what they got to say.
Deal done before the deadline. Dak Prescott says he still feels confident about his future in Dallas and all is well. During a conference call yesterday, Dak said, quote, I grew up wanting to be a Dallas Cowboy and I am. And I've got dreams of being a Dallas Cowboy until I'm done throwing the football. None of that's going to change just because we couldn't reach an agreement there for this season. So Shannon, I start with you. Do you buy it? Do you think all is really well between Dak and Jerry?
I think Dak is really smart, Skip. He's saying all the right things, not giving any air to this distraction talk. He knows, Skip. The thing about Dak is that he's very mature. For someone that's only been an NFL quarterback for 4 years, he understands how a quarterback is perceived. And the things that and the words that he says carry more weight than someone else on the team. So, but he can't say, well, I'm disappointed. I thought we were going to get a deal done and have this, because he knows they're going to ask him all about this, Skip. For the rest of the season, they're going to ask him. And he can't show any sign of any hint of unhappiness. So he's doing the right thing. And even if he is unhappy, guess what, Skip?
You can't show it.
The deadline to get a deal done was past July 15th.
So it don't matter.
Talking about it or being unhappy doesn't change anything.
Nope.
So he has to put on his best face, put his best foot forward, and says, guys, this is what I want to be. I've always wanted to be a Cowboy. I hard to believe, because Taz said there was something, his brother Taz said it was something about the Cowboys he always didn't like. So it's hard to believe somebody.
Okay, let's clarify that, Skip, because I went to the source. If you guys watched my interview with Philip Ebarb, who is Dak's mother's brother, his uncle, who helped raise both of them, okay? Let's be clear here. Dak Prescott was always a Dallas Cowboy fan. Always a Dallas Cowboy fan. In fact, his brother Jace, it's because of Jace, his brother who's passed, that he wanted to become a quarterback. Okay, I don't have the whole story on that, but Dak, said that yesterday. It's because of Jace. But Dak Prescott was always a Dallas Cowboy fan. His brother Tad never liked the Dallas Cowboys. Never did. And that's like my family. See, me and my dad, we're Cowboy fans. We're Cowboy fans. Die hard, okay? My brother Greg, he was always the rebel. He was the one that was always going out, was able to go out and get in trouble. When it came down to me, because I was younger, they put the clamps down on me. But I'm sorry, I digress. But anyway, he's a Washington football fan. Die hard. and he's dying hard with that Washington team. So it's not unusual to have a household where people are on different sides. So let me go back to that.
In one household, because the thing is, Skip, me, my brother, sister, we like the Steelers. It wasn't, well, I like the Cowboys. You know, we kind of all like the same, pretty much the same team. That kind of how it works in the household. Skip.
No.
But here's the thing. And then
No,
Jerry mentioned about the uncertainty around the COVID impacting Jerry's negotiation.
Yeah.
Less than stable time to be talking about generational wealth.
Correct.
Skip, is Jerry Jones really the guy that you want to be talking about generational wealth? There's the guy that's worth $8 billion. He has a franchise worth $5.5 billion. And he said, this is not the time to be talking about generational wealth. Of course not, because you got it.
Right. You're right.
It's kind of like freedom, Skip. Everybody that's free. They should do this. This is what you should do. But hold on. Remember when you didn't do that and you got here?
Yeah.
So it's easy to talk about things that you're all of a sudden
That you have.
Now somebody else won't have. No, it's not the time. It's never the time to talk about something that you don't want to talk about, Skip.
That's right.
But
that's
I
true.
love the way Dak handled this. Dak is very professional. He handled it the right way. I'm not going to give y'all oxygen to let this fire burn out of control and derail my season. I'm happy to be here.
Yep.
We didn't get it done. I'm going to try to do this thing again next.
Okay.
That's the only way he could
Quick
answer.
point of order about Jerry Jones. There's this thing in the NFL called the salary cap, and I'm pretty sure it's going to plunge for next year because of COVID and the pandemic. And so that's why Jerry said it's not the time to be talking about long-term contract, generational wealth, because it's not there to be had initially. Maybe longer term it will be, and I hope they could someday make a deal. I just am very skeptical that's going to happen. And yeah, this is just me. You've been to many training camps. I've covered the opening of many more training camps than you went to. And every first day media session, it's always, we love each other. It is always a new day and a new dawn, and forgive and forget, and let the new games begin, and let's start fresh with a blank slate. That's every training camp I've ever been at, even for lousy football teams, the Bears teams I covered. But they were always, this is our year. So that's what we got yesterday from both Dak and Jerry.
And then once 3-4 days passed, what happened?
Yeah.
Man, them jokers didn't believe in me.
That is correct. So, again, I'm hoping against hope that this goes north instead of south, but it was going south at the deadline because of that post from Tad, the older brother, who said, I didn't love the Cowboys when I was growing up, and now it's going to be hard to root for the Cowboys, ... and you had to read between the lines because of what they just did to my little brother.
Even though you got a brother on the team, you going to find it hard to root for a team. Even though they give your brother $31.4 million, you going to find it hard, Skip.
That's what happened. So here's my issue with what's going forward. Dak Prescott, he handles everything perfectly. He is a high-quality human being. He was born to be the leader of.
But here goes Skip with the
franchise,
butt.
America's team, and he was born to be the face of that franchise because he's dependable and trustable, and he's bedrock. He's built on bedrock. And Jerry Jones has said many times he is as mature for his age a football player as I have ever been around. And that, for Jerry, that's saying a lot. So here's my issue with this. Because the deal didn't get done, I don't think Dak is going to be in any comfort zone, and I'm not sure the locker room will be in a comfort zone. And you know how it feels to get asked repeatedly about someone else's problem, right?
Ooh, yes.
It just wears you out. After a while, everybody else is going to be saying, don't ask me that anymore.
Right.
I don't know. I care, but I don't know. It's not my fight.
Right.
So it could become a draining sort of distraction for the team. But what did I see from Dak Prescott last year? What's his biggest problem? It's a positive negative. Dak, to me, because he was a fourth-round pick who was always trying to overachieve, he tries too hard on occasion. He doesn't just let it flow and stay in rhythm of the game. He tries to make the game happen, force the issue, and you know and I know that can get very dangerous. So he played in a comfort zone for those first 3 games, but the Hall of Famer across from me dismissed the 3 first opponents as garbage. And it was the Giants, and then it was at the Redskins, and then it was Miami at home, and he lit them up.
Yes.
All time lit them up, and he looked like a top 5 quarterback. and his QBR averaged for those first 3 games 90 on a scale of 0 to 100, and he was just barely behind Brady and Breeze at that point in QBR. And that's when, reportedly, according to Yahoo, that the deal fell completely apart. That's when Todd France informed Jerry Jones our price that we had sort of verbally agreed on, the ballpark, just went way up. It's in a whole nother echelon. Jerry got mad. They got mad. Do not invite him. They barely communicated the rest of the way. And Dak was playing for a contract.
Right.
He was playing to show Jerry how wrong he was, how much more valuable Dak was that Jerry did not see or accept.
Right.
And what happened over the last 13 games? Pro Football Focus ranked Dak the 15th best quarterback. So he fell back to the middle of the pack. And what happened over the fateful final 6 games? Not much, because it got ugly and the QBR started to plummet. He averaged 55
Hater
QBR for
time.
the last 6 games. But remember, at New England, you ripped him for that one.
Yeah.
These are all F games.
Yeah.
At Thanksgiving against Buffalo.
Here we go.
Mercy, they were the turkey, right?
So, you got your daily dose of haterade. So, Skip Bayless, and I'm not saying that the team and Dak Prescott, the season went further south. I mean, we could say you looked at Amari Cooper, who got pulled in games and stuff. His body kept breaking down. You can also look and say Tyron Smith didn't play for 3 of those games. You could also look that Zeke Elliott, literally when the game was on the line, is doing these things. All of these things contribute, and numbers will ebb and flow. You're going to have good games and bad games. I don't care if you're Tom Brady or not. Everybody does. You can look at Tom Brady in the playoffs, the first game. Wasn't that good. You can look at Carson Wentz, the first game against us, where he was, awful. Second game, he was a little bit better than awful, but their defense played a lot better. So this whole notion that, you just put, things ebb and flow. They ebb and flow, but it is what it is. I'm comfortable with Dak Prescott and his situation with the Cowboys, right now. We'll see what we're going to see. The reality is, it doesn't matter if he signed a contract or not. If they deem we got somebody better, or you're not performing, your ass is going to be out there. Contract or no, you're going to be on the street. So take it as you will. Haters, feel free to go ahead and leave your comment. In the meantime, I got work to do. All right, guys, I'm going to see you later.